Yet, it seems Ruhif is definitely discussing how perspective is in the calculator. You think Flerfspective's in the calculator, do you? How many times were we told that we don't need perspective because it's geometric, Ruhif? But you now think it's in there. No, it's not, but it should be, because perspective is real. Yeah, things get smaller, like the top of the mountain, smaller, further away than the bottom, Ruhif. So your little ruler's not gonna cut it. Yeah? You clowns with your basic clown show trig. Yeah, you're being humiliated by flat earthers daily now.
Calcs work.
Exactly. Welcoming back into the fold with open arms, cult members. I can lie on your behalf now. Make you all feel a little bit better for a while. I mean, it would have been better if the straw man you tried to hold up because you got Ranty on your side now would have worked. But obviously that's now become Cat's clown show trig instead. Because it's him claiming it. Yeah? Epic. Talking of perspective, obviously back to the beginning of the show when I highlighted the extra thing that's now being added to the list, which is the real thing we want to discuss here, which is that they've got a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator, and they refracted targets with respect to the horizon back when we were debating about the Isle of Man. They had this lighthouse. Shh, don't mention the lighthouse. They had this lighthouse moving up and down with respect to the geometric horizon they were claiming to prove. Yeah? That's a big problem if you're Ruhif, and you've drawn a straight line to it and argued that we don't need perspective in the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve calculator. What do you mean we need perspective? Flerfspective? We don't need that, it's geometric, they told us. Now Ruhif has been telling Anthony that actually perspective is incorporated in 7/6 of a radius when you assume that light bends around an atmosphere. Well, no, Ruhif. They're very different words. Your refraction isn't even refraction, mate. It's 7/6 of a radius in standard form. Definitely not refraction. But you think it's not refraction either, it's perspective. No, clown. But that's the whole point of the argument back at the Isle of Man, and that's why we're thanking Catz now, aren't we? Because you're perspective omitting. Oh, what's that? Actually perspective hijacking. Yeah? What's that 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet? Oh, check it out in the Rayleigh criterion. Why is it 1.22 in the Rayleigh criterion? We'll come to that later. Yeah, all of those things that you ignored that we detailed with Life is Short when we were talking about perspective. Now, that's definitely not 7/6 of a radius, Ruhif. Do you think that was going to slide by? But thank you so much that we can put the thumb screws on you as a glober, pretending, I think I'll make it a bit stronger, lying about refraction being perspective, Ruhif? No, mate. Flerfspective, right? Geometric, doesn't need perspective, right? Side view, no perspective, whole values that don't scale when the mountain at the top is further than the bottom. That's not perspective in your maths, Ruhif. Now, that was our point back at the Isle of Man now, wasn't it? That's where it ended. And until now, no segue. Thanks, Catz. So, Ruhif, perspective is not refraction. Your refraction isn't even refraction. So what gives? You think refraction should be perspective now? Well, no, it isn't. But clearly you think it should be in there as you're telling us all about it. But it isn't, Ruhif. I'll say it one more time. Your perspective hijacking curve calculator turns everything side on and gives feet and inches values or meters so that you can exclude perspective. Now, if you're saying, well, actually the refraction value, different word, Ruhif, basic English, mate. You're saying that's perspective. Wrong. That's not Flerfspective, mate. No, no, no. Your justification for why you used the geometry was that you don't need perspective, it's geometric. So no, Ruhif. But nice that you are now realising that it should be in there. Because we're going to put the thumb screws on you and every other fundy about this Earth curve calculator that used to claim it proved Earth curve was the horizon for boats to go over. To fall over your edge that you all deny now. Earth curve doesn't exist beyond your maths. That's void, given that the horizon that was actually blocking the bottom of this lighthouse is actually refracted, unlike your maths that you did, Ruhif. Anyway, that's a side issue, given that you're now saying perspective's in the maths. It isn't, Ruhif. But it should be, and that's why it's void. So we're going to focus on that for the predominance of this live show. Ruhif's lies about refraction being perspective in their maths. It's not Flerfspective, definitely not refraction, and I'll say it one more time, your refraction isn't even refraction.
Yeah, so refraction is now the thing that flat earthers made up years ago. That's what you're saying. The thing we were charged with making up and using as just a get out of jail free card for everything. Now that's their argument.
Well, it's been like that.
Is that
for
what's
a while,
going on here?
Infinity refraction, wasn't it? It's like, like how we always take the mick and say that gravity is their band-aid to everything. If you need something fixing, gravity fixes it. Well, when it comes to the application of real world like optics, that's what they do. Anything that they can't explain or anything that doesn't jive with their model, refraction, just the same as gravity.
And now it's at the stage where we're saying, same as we did at the end of the Isle of Man, you don't have any perspective. And they're saying, well, Ruhif's saying, refraction. Yeah, I think you're stuck in Tourette's mode there, mate. You can't bark refraction when we're saying, yeah, you're putting perspective into these equations, but it isn't in the equations. Yeah, it is. Refraction. You utter clown, Ruhif. But thank you again. Because, yeah, we're going to be holding that to task from now on. And we're going to be pointing out that, no, it definitely doesn't have perspective or Flerfspective in those maths. When you ascribe things like 100-foot lighthouse with 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 10 million miles to it, because it's still 100 feet, right? Yeah, that doesn't work with Flerfspective now, Ruhif. Definitely not refraction either, mate. And definitely not a tangent to a horizon. You used to use this very maths to claim that the horizon got in the way of stuff. You had a hidden value for how much the tangent point got in the way of stuff. And you told us how much in feet and inches, excluding perspective, was blocked by the horizon that got in the way of stuff. Now we don't even see it. Now nobody claims the horizon's Earth curve, even though there it is in your maths that you used to say got in the way of the Isle of Man now, didn't you, Ruhif? When you personally drew tangents to horizons, Ruhif, and told us that we didn't need perspective, Ruhif. Now you're saying that you're a fractions perspective, idiot. Oh no, Ruhif. Yeah, go and get your English acumen assessed. Yeah, they're very different words, very different things, and the very thing you're justifying in your geometry was an excuse for why you didn't have perspective 3 years ago, Ruhif, when you drew that tangent to a horizon that doesn't exist anymore to block the Isle of Man. Thanks, Catz.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Ruhif, whatever his name is one of those clowns that will just bend in the definitions of words. I mean, I've listened to him once or twice on devs, and he'll just deny the definition of a word. Just change it. Like, oh, I don't care that that's the definition. Like, what? What do you mean? Word is defined a certain way, man. How are you just going to deny that?
Because he's got a very poor understanding of English. That's the bottom line. So he has it pointed out that refraction and perspective are different words. What's he going to say? Oh, I don't accept that words mean what they mean. Refraction!
Right.
This is them just looking to use the word perspective to help support our globe. Because perspective is not in their
Flerfspective.
Yeah, because it's not in their mathematics. They don't have anything. They have a geometrical mathematical model, and then they have mathematical only refractive calculations that are based off of that. They're not real world. It's not real world refraction. It's only mathematical refraction based off of a mathematical model.
Notice that Brian said the word refraction when talking about light bending around atmosphere, sphere-shaped air in violation of the second law of thermodynamics on a globe based on R and its geometry. He didn't once say the word perspective because they're different things. Yet, it seems Ruhif is definitely discussing how perspective is in the calculator. You think Flerfspective's in the calculator, do you? How many times were we told that we don't need perspective because it's geometric, Ruhif? But you now think it's in there? No, it's not, but it should be, because perspective is real. Yeah, things get smaller, like the top of the mountain, smaller, further away than the bottom, Ruhif. So your little ruler's not gonna cut it. Yeah? You clowns with your basic clown show trig. Yeah, you're being humiliated by flat earthers daily now.